You know, we didn't know necessarily that we were going to get to those lofty heights, but that was the aim.
But as you know, I mean, there always seemed to be that code within the black metal camp, which is sort of like, it's supposed to stay underground.
Yeah, but I don't understand why these people are making the rules here.
Right.
There are no rules, that's the whole point of it. And I just think it's bigoted.
Dimmu Borgir and Cradle Filth were kind of the whipping boys for a lot of the true black metal underground. I understand why the true black metalers were rallying against it, because black metal was never meant to be pretty. It was supposed to be ugly and awful, and it was supposed to scare you. You weren't supposed to ballroom dance to it.
In the early 2000s, black metal is as big as it has ever been, but you know, the real tried and true diehard bands have either rejected the style or moved on or broken up entirely. Black metal had defined itself so insularly as this sort of elitist underground movement that it sort of defined its own shelf life.
I want to ask you a question that I think is maybe one of the questions that you got mad at me for asking last time.
Okay. Shoot.
Maybe it's because it's a stupid question, I don't know, but I'll ask it again. A lot of people say that by the early 2000s, black metal had kind of fractured.
I think that when you say it like that it fractured, then I guess you're right. I never thought about it. So it wasn't that it went down, it just went all kinds of different directions and people was confused. And I can understand maybe that was the thing that confused you. So I didn't get it at all. But yes, it was a very stupid question.
By the early 2000s, black metal was kind of in disarray, and apart from a few bands in Poland and elsewhere, death metal and grindcore weren't really innovative anymore. And I remember feeling like the walls were kind of closing in on extreme metal, and the genre really needed a new spark. And then a spark did come from a Norwegian band who managed to break free from their black metal roots. So I want to start with where you guys were at when you began as a band.
When we got started, it was in early '91. We came from the kind of small Norwegian death metal scene, you know, before the black metal revolution in Norway. And suddenly at a point, everybody decided to stop playing death metal and go into this more primitive Venom and Celtic Frost-inspired sound. You have Mayhem, Darkthrone, Emperor, a couple of others, you know. So it was definitely a community of bands.
If you look at early Enslaved, they were as pagan, sort of Viking black metal as it gets, like wearing fucking chainmail, like sitting on thrones with like a big flagon of mead, you know. But over the years, they've progressed into this much more sort of open-ended, progressive metal band, you know, and the visuals have become much more psychedelic, almost like you took sort of a black metal band and fused them with Tool or something.
Enslaved in the early 90s was very focused around the extreme metal or black metal idea of having the narrative in the guitar and using the vocal almost like an effect. But then, you know, we moved to where the guitars would also be part of the narrative, but would start pulling a little bit back in terms of letting the vocals being what's carrying the story forward.
Given that you've gone through all this evolution and experimentation, how important now is it for you to be extreme?
It's not important to be extreme at all, actually. It's not important how fast you can go or how much of a tough guy you are. It's about how far you're willing to put your emotions into the music that makes it extreme metal for me.
I'm learning that what it means to be extreme in metal music today is expanding far beyond what it meant to Venom and Celtic Frost. And there's a French band who is taking extreme music in some unlikely ideological directions, and whose style has been called eco-metal.
France is not a country traditionally known for a lot of metal bands. And I wanted to ask you, has it helped you or hindered you being from France?
At first, I remember it was a big handicap because in France, there's no tradition of international managers and record companies and stuff. Now today, when I look back on our career, I think it's a good thing that we come from France. I think we were able to develop something that was very, very personal.
What makes Gojira unique is, first of all, they're from France. And France is known as a country that has not produced much good metal. And also, lyrically, they're doing their own thing. They're singing about the environment. They have songs about whales. They're calling attention to what's happening to the earth, how mankind is, just wrecking the planet. And I think there's that intellectual angle that's really, really appealing to people. And you don't see bands really doing stuff like that.
Basically, what I'm saying in my lyrics a lot is that we are nature. Nature is not just something outside of ourselves. I mean, everything is nature. This microphone is nature, this house is nature, and we are connected to each other by this universe.
Why is this aggressive style a good vehicle to talk about the environment?
I think the music is growing with the society. It's a hard, brutal world we live in. Communication, interaction, medias, everything is so intense and crushing. The faster the society goes, the faster the music goes. At the same time, we want to calm things down and we want to be more simple. We don't need to use gore or to put a lot of blood in our videos and stuff like that because life is brutal enough.
This is a big question, and it's more of a philosophical one. What is the value of extreme metal to the evolution of metal music?
An outside listener would say that extreme metal is like this limiting form, that it has, this formula, crunching guitars, the double bass, the extreme style vocal, that's what defines it. But in any art form, it's what you do within those limits, within that box. If you just think about a band like Neurosis or Gojira or Cattle Decapitation, they're doing such different things and yet they all fall under this umbrella of extreme metal.
I would say that since the early 80s, the most creative stuff, the most challenging stuff in metal has been coming from extreme metal. One of the reasons for that is that the underground is a place where people could work relatively undisturbed and do their own thing without worrying too much about what a mass audience would think.
We are music lovers, we are art lovers, not genre lovers. There are no limits, there are no rules. If there are rules, it's not music.
This final journey of metal evolution into the history of extreme metal has revealed to me that as heavy metal continues to grow, extreme metal is where the spirit of the original metal underground remains alive and well. It explicitly resists the mainstream, and it pushes music to the edge. And for this reason, extreme metal may in fact be the most important subgenre in the story of metal's evolution.
So this is for a more river sick, during laughter, children of pumps, sexual fast, murder's right. What you done, live and die. Listen to the darkness, till the streams, open, came through.
Hey there, this is Sam Dunn from Banger Films, and I'm here to extend a massive thank you to everyone who helped make the Extreme Metal Lost episode happen. As you know, this took us a long time, and it was a lot of work, and it took a lot of patience from a lot of you to give us the time to do it right. So I can't thank you enough. I'm so excited that this is finally seeing the light of day. But we're not done. As many of you know, there are many more subgenres in the Metal Evolution family tree whose story has not been told. So if you go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can let us know which episode you want to see next and help us continue the Metal Evolution journey.